Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and as always, welcome to the new card report. Phantom Nightmare is only a week away in the OCG, and as such, Konami is now speedrunning through what was the 30-ish cards to drop just 1 week before the set did. So with little time left, let's take a look at the random wave of support for the Aroma archetype, because that's just what Konami did this time round. Aroma Lilith Rosalina is a new level 1 dark plant tuner with 0 attack and defense that can quick effect be discarded to target an Aroma monster you control and then gain life points equal to half its attack. It also has an effect on normal or special summon to summon a non-tuner Aroma monster from your deck, but after doing so you'll be locked into only summoning plant monsters for the turn. Well, hot damn. That's a pretty good start, isn't it? A free synchro or link 2 for plants, and that's not a bad thing by any means. The discard's also a great way to trigger all your Aroma effects during the opponent's turn. Did you know that the original main deck Rosemary can change battle positions? Whoa, no wonder they're so good. Really though, it's a great way to get all your Aroma effects off and keep the bonus effects of having more life points than the opponent. I guess you could get some interesting synchro levels depending on the higher level Aroma monsters you might be able to consider playing. If you're a fan of Garnets, that is. It seems playable, but what else is new for plants? Aroma Lilith Magnolia, meanwhile, is a new fusion monster for the deck. A level 8 dark plant with 2600 attack and 1800 defense. That'll need any one Aroma monster and any other one plant monster as fusion material. This Aroma's bonus for having more life points than the opponent is making all plants you control indestructible by card effect. Yay. And it'll let you pay 2,000 life points to banish cards on the field up to the number of copies of Dried Winds, Humid Winds, and Blessed Winds you control. No targeting required. The last effect will trigger, of course, when you gain life points to give all plants you control an attack boost equal to the life points gained, which is schnifty. Both effects are soft once per turn, so if by some odd chance you get 2 copies of this, you can gain a solid amount of attack and banish a whole lot of cards. Maybe. That's cute. Nothing here seems crazily good. Like, the non-targeted banish is strong, but it'll require you having the face-up traps, which is not impossible to get or do, but it is certainly some amount of effort. Not to mention the indestructible factor is neat and cute and all, and the attack boost is cool, but as is the case for so many other random-ass fusion monsters that Konami seems fit to throw into decks, this card's usefulness is going to certainly depend on how easy it is to summon more than anything that it's doing on the field. It's also Magnolia, so there's a Pokemon Professor joke in here somewhere. Something about being retired and old and useless. Aroma Sonia? When? I don't even want to know. Fuck this joke. On to the next. Aroma Lilith Rosemary is the Link version of the blue one. That's making me realize that this whole deck is like 5 monsters, just in different forms. It's neat, but it is what it is. It's a dark Link 3 with 2200 attack and arrows pointing bottom left, bottom right, and just bottom. Nice. To summon it, you only need 2 or more plant monsters, and on special summon, it'll add any 1 Aroma card from your deck to your hand. It also has the effect to, when you gain life points, summon up to 3 Aroma monsters from your hand to zones that this card points to, even during the damage step. Which would be crazy if the third effect triggered to gain life in the damage step, but instead it's just to tribute a monster this card points to, target a card and banish it on the field, and then you'll gain 1,000 life points. So you can still trigger the swarm effect with it, because you'll gain life points and then swarm, but it's not during the damage step is what I'm getting to. The swarming effect is absolute nutter butter. The only problem is, of course, that it only summons from the hand. Oh, and of course that it only summons Aroma monsters. The main deck Aromas aren't exactly bursting with potential, let me tell you. Jasmine can be a bonus normal summon for a plant, and Marjoram can be a DD Crow type card. I don't know, I already made the joke that main deck Rosemary's bad. I don't really have anything else. It seems good in a dedicated Aroma deck. Outside of that, it's as remarkable as the other 2 Rosemary cards are broadly. Completely forgettable. They also get a new spell card, Aroma Blend. This normal spell will let you discard a card to place a copy of one of the 3 wind cards, either Blessed Winds, Humid Winds, or Dried Winds, onto your field, which is an effect that they really needed, right? I feel like that's something that they were missing. Either way, it can also be banished from the grave to fusion summon any plant monster by banishing the materials from your hand or field as material. That's material twice, okay. Either way, it'd be terrible, except for the fact that if you do have more life points than the opponent, you can instead banish materials from the grave instead, so the card is saved. It's getting one of the wind traps, which is pretty damn great. Dried winds can be some solid monster removal, humid can search for an aroma card, and blessed can get you life points by either sending plants to the grave or shuffling from the grave into the deck, or pay life points to revive an aroma for some more swarming for potential synchro or link plays. This placing them onto this field is pretty damn great because it makes them playable on turn 1, which is far better than just searching out the trap, and that gets around Ash, doesn't it? Pretty solid. The fusion effect, meanwhile, is about as good as it can get, really, because it's a bonus effect on an already solid card. Plus, if you've got more life points, it is truly free as shit to just fusion summon from the grave, just to plop an extra body on board, making the fusion get the also coveted title of playable. Free season link material if you just want to swing for game. Whatever you want to do, you just get a purple card on your board. It's like that one Transcendrake fusion spell, or the one Transcendrake card that had a fusion spell in the graveyard similar to this one, which is really about as good as you can get for shoving a random fusion monster into an archetype. Kudos, Konami, you're continuing with a good trend. Unprecedented. The last card revealed is a new trap, Aroma Healing. A normal trap, on activation, you can gain 1,000 life points for each aroma monster with different names that you control. Wow. It can also be banished from the grave to target and summon an aroma from your grave, and then gain 500 life points, but that aroma monster will be banished when it leaves the field. That grave effect is pretty nice. Summoning from the grave and then gaining life points means it'll trigger all of your aroma monsters. And it doesn't specify any level or battle position, so you can get back one of your extra deck aromas with this. The first effect is nothing exciting, I don't think. I mean, you could use it for an easy 2 to 3k or so, but I feel like there's better ways to gain life points at this point in the deck without having to wait a whole turn. I mean, granted, you're activating them on the opponent's turn. It doesn't feel necessary. I don't know. I don't know really how to get in the grave, though, beyond that. Is this Foolish Burial Goods lever good? I don't think so. It's a solid enough effect broadly, just whether or not it'll see play. It's competing with a lot of plant cards, isn't it? All in all, it is a pretty neat bit of support. Pure aroma decks are better off now than they were before, although I don't know if that's really saying anything of value. The new level 1 being a Tourguide for plants is pretty damn neat, and with main deck Jasmine, you could get some solid extension with that bonus normal summon in plant decks. But truthfully, if we're talking plant decks, they already have a pretty damn good normal summon, and hilariously, it's a vanilla. We all know about Rika Sun Avalon at this point. Europe is in shambles. Obviously, this is all going to be looked at most viably through the context of how it fits into the current plant deck that is Rika Sun Avalon. And where is that all going? I don't know. I don't really see a tremendous amount of use for these cards in that deck. I suppose maybe if you were to go for a 60 card variant by throwing in an Aromage engine of some capacity and other plant good stuffs a la Spore, maybe, but I don't know if that's truly making Sun Avalon Rika a better deck. The fusion being best summoned through the spell card is really neat. That's cool, and by best summon I mean only summon, but you know what I mean. I think there are some really solid aspects to these, but nothing game-breaking. So Aroma can still sit on Cactus Bouncer or whatever that Floodgate card is and feel good about it. And broadly speaking, players who are most excited to have their plant monsters just be regular anime girls are truly ecstatic today. So that's a win for someone, isn't it? So that'll wrap it up for this new card report. Just covering some of the new cards. The regular update will be out on Friday. Until then, it's a huge thanks as always to the LIFD magnetic display. The chance for me to realize that I only own the link of what's relevant to plant decks because I'm a 56-year-old man and my plant deck of choice was Sylvan, circa 2014. Shoutouts Adam for screwing me over with that Sage Akoya. I'll never forget, and I will never forgive you. But apart from my traumatic past over having to buy a card, you can instead enjoy buying an LIFD magnetic display. Funny how that works. Promo code YGOStrats for 15% off, or click the link in the description to have it apply automatically at the checkout. Till then, Greg Feet, that's meat. Bada beat. I don't know, fuck it. Subscribe, please, and become a true duelist and impress your smoking Italian wife, and again, a second time, become a true duelist.